Hi, welcome to Jeweliyana's Kitchen. If you've ever cooked with me before, you're gonna know that I never follow the rules, and tonight's recipe is a great example of that. Tonight we are making Ratatouille Bourguignon, sort of inspired by both of those fabulous French meals, but it's got a Jeweliyana's Kitchen twist on it. So if you like the sounds of that, hit that like button, subscribe, and come along with me and I will show you how. Here's some of the ingredients that have inspired tonight's ratatouille-ish beef bourguignon kind of creation. Of course, we got some fabulous red wine and fresh eggplants and mushrooms and rosemary and garlic and spices and sausage and tomatoes. It's going to be delicious. The first thing we want to do is pat dry the beef. And you want to do this on a plate on some paper towels. The reason we pat it dry is because it will brown better if you pat it dry. If you don't pat it dry, it just takes longer and sometimes it just stays that dull brown color and it never gets that nice crispy brown coating. If you have a big enough pan, you can actually brown your sausages and the beef together. And I put a little bit of olive oil in the pan just to get it started. So you can see how nicely browned it is here. And we're going to take that off the heat and slice up those sausages and put it in the roasting pan and move on to the eggplant. So I'm going to leave the skin on my eggplant and I just want to chop it into 1-inch kind of cubish size pieces. Like that. And we want to slice up 1 onion into just some nice wedgie pieces. Now we need to get a couple of carrots peeled, and if you happen to need an awesome vegetable peeler, I've had this Swissmar one for almost 20 years. There's a link in the description if you're interested. Next you want to put your meat in the roasting pan, and then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of flour, a tablespoon of paprika, a tablespoon of mustard seeds, a teaspoon of dill seed, and a 1/2 teaspoon of thyme. A little bit of pepper, and a little bit of salt. And then you want to stir that up, just stir it around to coat it. We're going to put this in the oven at 400 for 15 minutes just to bake it up a little bit, crisp it up. And while that's happening, we'll get the eggplant going. Next, we want to cook the eggplant, but first we want to crush some garlic into the pan before we do that. So in the same pan you cook the sausages in. If you still have some oil left from cooking the sausages and meat, you're good to go. If not, you can start with just olive oil. I have a little bit of the oil still in the pan, so on a medium heat, you want to brown the garlic and the onion. Alright, this is looking nice and soft, so let's add those eggplant bits. And we just want to saute these until they're nice and browned. This is looking really nicely browned now, so we're going to add the mushrooms. That's about 2 cups of sliced mushrooms and 1 red pepper that I chopped into big chunky bits. And we'll just let this cook for probably about another 10 minutes or so, get the mushrooms and peppers slightly browned, and then we will put everything together with the beef that's just about done in the oven. So our meat is nice and crispy now, and for the record, it's best if you always follow my videos till the end in case I change the time or anything. And in this case, it wasn't 15 minutes. My oven ran a little hotter, so I took it out at 10 minutes. But you can see it's just lovely browned. And we want to add to that all of those eggplant, pepper, mushrooms, onions that we just sauteed. And we want to add a bay leaf and some carrots, the carrots we chopped up. And we want to add 2 cups of either fresh chopped tomatoes or canned chopped tomatoes. The idea is that you want them chopped so they're nice small pieces. And it wouldn't be beef bourguignon-ish if we didn't add some wine. So I ran out of measuring cups, but we have 8 ounces, 1 glass of red wine to add to this. And 1 cup of beef broth. A tablespoon of fresh rosemary and 2 tablespoons of freshly chopped parsley. Mix all of this up, and then we are going to bake this at 350. Right now I'm going to say about 1.5 hours to 2.5 hours, because beef bourguignon is slow and low. That would be 2.5, and ratatouille is 1.5. So since I told you I was a mad scientist and we're experimenting, you're going to have to wait till the end when it comes out of the oven, and I'll tell you exactly how long it took. All the ingredients will be listed in the description if you want to make this recipe at home. Or if you want the easy button, I also have an Etsy shop where you can buy downloadable pages of each recipe that I create, and they're all on sale. So we'll see you in a few minutes. It's ready, guys. It turned out awesome. If you could come through this camera and smell it, you'd know. I've got a couple little hacks for you and tricks now that it's been made. I think that you could get some cheats and cuts here. If you pre-steam the carrots a little bit, then you can get away with cooking it for only about 1 hour to 1 hour and 20 minutes. And if you want your eggplant to be a little firmer, then I would actually suggest cooking the meat for about 45 minutes, like do all the instructions the same. Just don't add the eggplant, pepper, onion blend until the last 40 minutes or so of cooking, and then it'll be firmer. Either way though, it is delicious, and it's got those spices and herbs of like the Provence flavors, and it actually makes me think of Alsace, which makes me feel like we should serve it on spaetzle. I don't even know how to say that right, but those little German noodly things, or some egg noodles. Or if you're trying to cut on the carbs, then you could do what I'm gonna do. Hang on, I'll show you. So if you're trying to cut down on the carbs, I just made some cauliflower rice, which basically is just tiny chopped up cauliflower, and you can serve it on top of your cauliflower rice. And if it's a Saturday night and you want to fancify it, I'm sure there's some red wine left over from when you made this. You can enjoy that with your dinner too. So thanks for stopping by Jeweliyana's kitchen. We'll see you on the next video. Have a great day.